Cho pickup here, Geek Fam.
Yeah, it's
This is
the
exactly
Yi.
the lineup that you're talking about.
They need those skirmishes. I mean, of course, the diversion ultimate is quite long. The Wave the Dragon is considerably long, but not quite. Then again, if you look at the Luo Yi, it is composed of that massive passive of having the duality that makes it sure that you only need the two skills. You don't need an ultimate to get so much damage out, as well as stuns. Because of the duality, that mini vacuum that we're always talking about, it's very potent, and you're gonna be scared now because what's gonna happen? The combo is you start with either Jeet Kune Do or Tyrant's Rage, you lock them down with your vacuum, courtesy of the Louis, and then you rain hell with your Yi Sun Shin. That's a ton of damage, even in the mid game.
A ton of damage indeed. And looking at it, it's Geek Fam lineup is good as well as Onic PH. They're both fundamentally okay, but I would have to say that in order for for you to make sense of the drafts here of these teams, you have to make sure that the execution is on point, and I believe that both of these teams do recognize the execution.
Yeah,
Like all the
you
check
can.
marks will be checked.
Yep, all the check boxes.
Oh yeah, check, not the check marks. Check boxes. Thank you for clarifying that.
Okay. I'm keeping an eye on the. So you know me, man. I think that after 4 days of casting, I've always talked about how important it is to have good XP in the early stages of the game. You don't only look at the gold, always have to look at the XP. Because the way I see champion teams in many of the tournaments that I've watched, those who have far better EXP in the early game almost always wins the match, just because of how strong they have of a foothold of the game.
Hmm. That would really translate into the later stages of the game where you see your core being already level 10 or level 15 while the opposing core is still stuck at level 10 or 11 even, and that's already a big factor because the more skill points you have onto your skills, the more damage output that you can get, or the lesser cooldown for your skills would be available.
Yeah, you can see now that the Isun Shin is a little bit ahead of the carry, knowing that he was able to steal off an orange buff as well. So the approach now for Geek Fam is to go for invades first before securing their own jungle buffs. As you can see, they still have their own orange buff. They have to always make. They are porting Ipin around that area so that there's no quick steal shenanigans coming out from Ionic Indonesia. And onto the middle, look at that. I am Jago, our Lu Yi, bullying out the Atlas. And that's not something that you can see almost any day. Supports cannot bully tanks like an Atlas in the early stages. But this is Louis we're talking about. Very strong in when it comes to like dealing early game damage.
Meanwhile, over to the bottom lane, a good zone by Joker there to prevent the initial redemption revenge as a flicker onto an ejection and an unstoppable force onto Epen in one fell swoop, almost takes him down.
Uh, Electrifying. And out from both teams now. And slowly, this season Shin is getting the farm. Sans Jaguar carry. Slow and steady as well. 1.4k, not that much of a difference. Maybe the only problem he has is that it doesn't have the orange buff for himself. But this is carry. The real question mark on when you say that it is effective or not is during the mid or the early stages of the late game, where you can see already that you can judge whether or not he is capable of finishing the game for his team.
Man, this Eason Shin might just prove to be fatal. This turtle's gonna go down without any doubt, dropping already the Mountain Shaker. If I remember the name correctly, it's the Mountain Shaker, the ultimate of Yisun Shin, just to deter any additional pushes. But big contention here over the bottom lane because that is where the brunt of the Geek Fam lineup is. Instead, going on for the mid lane. Last Fatal Links not actually connecting onto anybody there. Managed to secure the kill onto Joker though. Black Dragon form there. Butts gonna be forced to fall back. Secures the kill onto Ramzu.
Mm-hmm. A little bit messy in there coming out from Geek Fam. I could have said that they have a little bit of advantage already starting that fight, and they were aggressive because of whatever they already have. They have very good start. Wonder what happened in there. I mean, it's more about this the micro outplays coming out of sorry of Onic Indonesia that lost them that fight, and hopefully they can recover. Top lane, there's the recovery that we're talking about. A little bit of aggressive push coming out from Onic Indonesia. They have been able to punish it.
Well, I'd say that's well worth it because they can immediately just let go of the attention over at the top lane. But that
Yeah.
is if Santiago will survive this three-man rotation in the top side. Off can't kill there over in the bottom lane as the bottom lane is going to be forced to be equalized here by Geek Fam. Ramzu is fairly going to survive as the tanky Uranus. Ultimate is going to be popped once again by Doyok, but not going to be dishing out a lot of damage. But secures a kill onto Anti-Mage.
Oh man, and there's a potential for Yisun Shin to go for good assassination plays now just because of the revamp. And if you know how to use it properly, you'll be able to get those kills. And you could really say that the Joy has a straight up advantage against the Yisun Shin on 1v1. But with the right timing for the Yisun Shin to pop in, he's gonna get the kill and the turn as well. Onto the turtle area. They have snatched that Atlas with the Tyrant's Rage. Perfectly used. Get the additional kill for Geek Fam. Indonesia this time.
They are just going to make sure that they try to relatively secure the lead here, Geek Fam. Onic is going to try their best test to rest to defend this mid lane and top lane because as soon as the outer the outer tier 1 turrets are down, that's when Geek Fam can really go ham in terms of depriving Santiago of more resources here. We're already seeing that happen. Top lane tier 1 turret is going to go down. They're going to try to equalize this over the mid lane. Santiago not dishing out a lot of damage onto Ethan. They're going to be forced to back off. Doyle,
And yeah,
yeah, Doyok's ultimate is not that painful yet. That's a
yeah,
keyword.
not yet. We'll see. By the way, one thing I want to talk about, by the way, is this running trend of seeing Yu Zhong on the execute, doing the execute route. I love it personally.
The HG lifestyle.
The 8G lifestyle. Here in the Philippines, it is quite known that the 8G lifestyle is going for executes on the side laners long before it was, long before it was trending. A year ago, I tried to go for that execute, and I always felt that why aren't pros taking this? It makes a lot of sense. Nevertheless, Yujong, I like it because you have a lot of dual potential and that extra zap that you can get to take down your opponents is so much of an advantage. But onto the side lines now in the middle. They'll get a kill on the Atlas. They're chasing Santiago now with all of the members in here. As well as the Yisun Shin. Nice timing on that slash. Gets another. And it looks like they have tagged the Farsa this time. They're finding the bird and slicing down. Another double kill for Doyak this time. I guess that's safe to say that Yisun Shin is online.
Completely online level, already level 13. The Wave the Dragon onto the back lines, onto Butts, forces him back. Joker low on HP, gonna get ejected and eventually gonna get eliminated there. Black Dragon form, they're committed by Butts, but he's gonna be taken out by Doyok. And as well as Raising Cena, double kill onto Ramzu. That's gonna be the tier 1, the last of the tier 1 turrets going down. And they're just gonna be scattering, securing the purple buff, orange buff, and potentially the top lane tier 2 turret.
In top lane they go indeed. Looks like Ramzu is just putting his body, literally just putting his body, doing nothing else but putting his body in there. Going to get ourselves the stacks as the Eason Chain was taking that turret. And Ramzu, with the brute force breastplate now available, he's not afraid anymore. But I guess in the coming minutes, if this carry is able to amass the farm and build his weaponry, perhaps he's going to be able to contest this Uranus. But he's the only one for now. I don't think that the Yuzhong has a little as a contention against the Uranus now, as well as the Jawhead. It's going to be all up to the carry to do the damage dealing in the next coming minutes.
Santiago is relatively lacking, and this battle being picked up, not really going to be an impact just yet. Just about to finish the golden staff.
Yeah.
It's I mean, we're already Santiago will start to hurt, no doubt. But I feel like Geek Fam Indonesia, they can really dive in towards Santiago here without any problems whatsoever. I've been seeing that as a trend in this fight, to say the least. That they're able, Geek Fam's able to dive into the backlines of Onic. No
Yeah.
really proper protections here, because Razy Cena is one of the frontline tanks that you won't actually expect to be able to defend in the backlines quite easily.
That's right. It's kind of still pretty scary, even with this massive lead that they have taken. But look at how quickly Geek Fam is able to take the Lord. And I like that they popped the ultimate of the Yisun Shin just for no, not for damage this time, but only for vision. You have to take note that what makes it so OP is that it's almost like reverse Dark Knight Falls, wherein Dark Knight Falls allows you to not see your opponents, and his ultimate is the main difference because you can literally see where your opponents are in that ultimate, and it's very good when it comes to taking the objectives, the how to say this, the river objectives, turtles, your lords, knowing that you have that chance to see where your opponents are at and put some damage in before they go in against you. You know that's a very good tool to have, and it's unique to Yi Shin.
Yeah, with the lack of vision game in Mobile Legends, you're only going to be relegated. If you really want vision, you're going to be relegated to Selena, Kadiki, or Yi Sun Shin. You really have to make sure to use the vision properly, and that is exactly what Doyok has been doing this entire game.
Okay, so it seems like I'd say this, it's a slow and steady take from the Yi Shin. Not gonna be able to take the inhibitor yet because of the wave clear coming out from Onic Indonesia. You have to take that. This is still Farsa. A lot of good defense in there. Even the Yuzhong has decent wave clear. Just the spinning light wheel from the carry helps them all out. And the threat of Rasi Cena on this Atlas is such a factor that Geek Fam Indonesia will always have to consider. That being said, Geek Fam cannot be reckless this time as compared to the previous game because this time they can be taken out by the carry. And honestly, man, it will only take one team wipe for the carry to take this game back to their favor.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's one thing to have a carry that's relatively weak in the early game. It's another thing to have a carry that's already 2, 3 items in. Because
Yeah.
as we saw just earlier, just a couple of auto attacks there by carry managed to bring down Uranus down to half HP. And as I say that, Razy Cena is gonna get way of the dragon, but he's gonna be relatively okay. Ramzu is soaking up a lot of damage from Santiago.
What is the proper past tense? Wade of the Dragon or Way of the Dragon?
Yeah, the dragon.
Okay. Okay. Just checking. Just checking. Yeah, right? It's a valid question. It's a valid question.
Or ultimated.
Yeah. Or kicked. I guess it's the best term.
Or the way of the dragon connected.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the harder one.
How about Jeet Kundo?
It condoned.
See? See?
Because they're I spoke a
Ye-
Filipino word. Because we're we're treating it as a verb, even though it's a
It's
noun.
a noun. Yeah, it's the magic of the English language. But before we talk more about the English language, why don't we go back to what's more important, which is now looking at the Yisan Shin with almost his locked item. Has got the Berserker Spear now on top of the Blade of Despair was the endless battle. And I guess he's going for Queen's Wings last.
Yep,
And
there you go.
what a guess. What a man.
What
I'm
a
good at this.
prediction. But I
Yeah.
like the reactionary mechanism of the rounds picked up by Ozawa here just to prevent Ethan and Doyok to be able to regenerate quite fully as well as Ramzu. But that
Yeah.
is going to be the Fatal Links connecting onto I Am Jago, forced to use the Winter Truncheon over to the backline. So Wave the Dragon is going to be connected. I Am Jago is going to go down by the hands of
Oof.
Butts. That's going to be a lot of bodies going down and not a lot being covered there, but that is a one-for-one trade. Ramzu takes out Dragon Ozawa in the backlines, in the base, gets ejected with the
Crunch.
Truncheon. Just for that added survivability, I like that
Wow.
pickup.
No way! What a game changer! This guy, Ramzu, after getting the Oracle, you normally would go for another tank item. Maybe in this case, something like Antique Cuirass so that you will have more damage, or maybe even Twilight Armor just because you're scared of the carry. But this time, Winter Truncheon, how good is that? I mean, you apply more magic damage for sure with the Ionic Edge, and the fact that you have that trend that healing factor, or I mean, no, not really healing. You making yourself invulnerable against your opponents, and that coupled with your massive amount of regen. When you have 20 stacks, just pop the transient in your back in full, almost full health. That's big brain play coming out from Ramzu now.
And I will expect this to be in the pubs later on when we
Why not?
play the game after the cast. There goes the Fenrir Airstrike to try to defend this. Drain Lazawa getting a brunt of HP being taken out by Ramzu. First inhibitor turn is going to go down. Second one's going to go down as well. Going in for the third. They have to stop the Lord here, but Geek Fam, they're looking for an opportunity to go for the fight here. Joker Immortality is going to be popped. Ramzu deep into the fountain. He's not going to give a damn there. That's a Fenrir Airstrike going to be used to deter the Wave the Dragon connecting onto Butts. Butts almost getting taken out. He managed to survive there. It is a 0 for 2 trade so far, and Geek Fam is winning this. They might be able to force down in game number 3 at Santiago. Next one potentially going to go down. HP 600 low, though, by the side of Geek Fam. Fenrir Airstrike once again. But that's going to be going. Take down Raising Chain.
Oh
One
my!
left to arrive, and that
Goodness.
is the game. Game 3, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be coming up.
I also forgot to mention earlier the Yisun Shin, the way it is great against the Farsa is just the Farsa pops the Feather Durst. Like, just pop your ultimate as well. And it's either the Farsa will just straight up get away or just melt against that Yisun Shin. And all of a sudden you can see Yisun Shin being welcomed into the meta, the new normal that we have. Welcome to the Southeast Asian scene, professional scene, I mean. And I guess